What up? What up? Zach Bradshaw, long-winded guy, back again with dude stares at charts in his wife beater video. So this may be the last one that I do on this channel. I'm probably gonna release this one on YouTube too, or on Facebook too. I don't think that I've made posted one of these videos on Facebook in a while. Um, but as far as YouTube goes, I'm gonna move these videos off of like my Zach Bradshaw YouTube channel and just put them on playing markets because we finally have this brand going now where it's kind of just starting with just like a bunch of different market terms, so trading and investing terms, and just going through and defining them. Eventually we're going to try to show up at the top of Google for these and make a passive income site out of this site. But now it finally has social media, so it has a YouTube channel of its own, and well, maybe I'll even put this on the Facebook page. Well, no, not yet. Um, we still need to make some cute little video intro or something with our logo swirling around or something like that, um, to start the videos off, and then probably some kind of exit thing, and then clean it up a little bit. But I think this is probably my last video, or maybe my second or third to last video, just like on my channel like this. That won't be like a playing markets video, and I'll probably take too long figuring out exactly what I'm going to, like perfecting the videos once we get that format. But this is like I should have made this video several days ago, or a couple of days ago. Um, and this is after Bitcoin had its big breakdown off of this, basically an ascending wedge that was in here on higher term time frames. And like I watched Alex Becker's video. It was like I sold, and just giving people horrible advice about what to do with a correction like this. So um, I should have had a stop loss set right here, right? And this breakdown happened while I was in the middle of massive intoxication. So I was very drunk, um, working on probably playing markets or Truth and Blockchain, some other one of my sites, and watching the Jake Paul, Ben Askren shit show that was. And then watched it and did not act, right? Like, I wish I would have sold out here. I wish I would have set a stop loss here. Maybe I'll start to do that when I know that I'm going to be like completely incapacitated. But I would have liked to been paying attention and sold myself instead of having an automatic stop loss order on the market. And so obviously I missed this one, and then it came all the way down here, and rookies or people who are not used to this or just have not seen Bitcoin, over the course of a couple of years, um, this like terrified Becker. And this isn't even a real pullback. Like a real pullback from here, if this one became the real pullback, we're going at least down to 40, maybe a little bit lower than that, maybe down to like 30 or 28 even. I don't think we'll. I mean, maybe 20,000, maybe 12,000, right? I mean, it could always go down lower. But I think we're actually still moving up here. But I do think that we're gonna trade in a range for a while. I think that we're gonna have a longer consolidation period. Um, like here was a consolidation after we came up here to 40,000, and then we came back down to 30,000 and played around here for a while, right? It wasn't really that much time. Let's see, about a month and a week, about 5 weeks or something like that, and then we had another move up, and then came in here, set in a range, and this was shorter time. Then we went up again, made another range, and this was kind of like a longer consolidation. But now I think we'll probably play it out even longer than those, and maybe that's incorrect. I haven't watched Crown's video. He's probably had two today. Crown's video or Tone's video or any of the people that I trust for trading, and I help give me ideas or confirm my own ideas. I like to do videos like this before I've looked at those, and I've actually been putting off watching those pretty much all day till I could do this because I had to remove a lot of videos from my computer because I could not. Like I started making this video earlier and it just stopped recording because I ran out of disk space. So Now to the video after 5 minutes of rambling about bullshit. Um, so let me actually just pull up this chart. So if I would have been playing this right? So I'm actually supposed to start out with the most tacky thing I could do, right? I'm at $2,800. I should have sold out more of my positions when we were up at 65. And I did not take profit in the way that I should have. And some of these other coins were up bigger than what they are now, right? This Cardano was at least at like 140 or something like that. And Balancer was, it looks like it took 11% today. So it got, but earlier today, this was at like 55. And a couple of days ago, it was at like 62 bucks. So if I would have been playing these all better, then I would be sitting on a fatter account right now that was actually had more dollars in it, like a higher, or not USD coin. I mean, I'd probably be 50% in cash and have more account value. And I probably, right, if I would have had my cash or if I would have sold this as a stop loss, I would have bought down here and I would already be up a percentage. I probably would have already sold that buy one time while we play around in here and I see which way we're going to go. Like, I don't know whether it's going up. I think we're still going up, but um, you can't miss Clio this stuff. You have to figure out your levels and then make decisions based on the probabilities. So right now, it looks like we may be painting in here like a something like an ascending triangle, some sort of accumulation pattern right here that, maybe it takes us back up to this line. So I probably am on the verge of buying back with my low $100 back into Bitcoin or something else, but I want to look at these charts, see which ones I think look the best, and then go from there. Because something that is surprising to me is that Bitcoin did worse than some of these other coins. I'm not sure which ones did worse or did better than Bitcoin, but based on Bitcoin's drop, I should be at like 20. If I was all in Bitcoin, I think I'd be at like 2,300 right now, as opposed to 2,800. And maybe my math is off there a little bit, but like my Bitcoin buys. Oh, let's just tell me what the price was. No, my last Bitcoin buys were like up here. No, this is too high. That's 60s. We're like up here, right? And we're lower than that now. So let's just check exactly what's up. This video is probably gonna be way too long for me to put on Facebook. Okay, so I guess they were in the 60, 61 areas. All these are very small buys. Yeah, so most of my buys, like I thought, were in the 56 area, 56,000, $57,000 area, and then, finished off my positions up here, and then looks like I had a larger buy here, but this is way, I can basically tell how large these are based on the fees is the way I'm looking at it, instead of trying to match up these decimal places. I'll go cross-eyed. So I'm curious to see which of these other coins performed better in this pullback, because typically altcoins fall down harder than Bitcoin. Typically, maybe that's no longer the case, typically. So let's look at some of these other charts. Let me go back to my portfolio and see what's next. I think it's, yeah, Chainlink. So in order of position size, let's look at Link. Oh, this chart still looks amazing. Okay, I need to look at my buys on Link. If you can't tell, I am not a professional trader. You should not follow my way of doing this stuff. But you can certainly watch me and learn what not to do. Though I doubt this is very entertaining watching me miss Link on the list. So my buys on Link, jeez, no wonder my portfolio seems so good. They were all the way down here at like average of 30. Oh my goodness, I can sit in this position forever. What I sell up here? I sold a very small amount. Man, I could just sell some of this for profit right now if I wanted, but let's get rid of this Fibonacci because I don't care about it. What is this line doing on my darn chart? That's crazy. Man, this chart, I want to buy this coin. This chart looks so good. It could easily come back down here to some of these levels, and I actually don't have that much desire or need to shift these levels. I mean, maybe I could move this one down a little bit. It is kind of like a little range here, but it's not worth changing it. Maybe I'll now move this level up here. Yeah, actually, I definitely will. Looks fantastic. Put some levels up at the top. To our chart, let's look at that daily. There we go. Tentative little top in there. It's probably some sort of zone like right here. It's definitely some sort of zone like right here. Yeah. So there's a big fat range that this thing could play out. Right? If it's in this area, I don't know whether it's going up or down, basically, is the way that I think about it. Once it breaks below this, if it breaks below this, it's probably coming back. Stop at. Bug. It's probably coming back down to this one here, and then that may be a top, depending on what the formation looks like or whatever. But that may be a top. If it breaks through here, it comes down, and then it may play out a longer consolidation back down to some of these levels. I don't think it's gonna go much lower than that. Yeah, back down to maybe like here. Before I think it would go back up, but this chart just goes one direction. It's up. It's just like up. So I don't have any reason to believe. Ooh, what did that look like on the weekly? That's a big nasty candle, but it has so many more days to close. So like this could kind of look like a reversal candle up here, but the week is like we're on Wednesday. So the week has a ways to go. Why are you blinking on me? Okay. And then let's see the other way. On the downside, this range is about 18%. So because I don't really want to take a fuck, I want to buy this chart though. That's the problem. Okay, so one of my issues is that I do not take profits enough. This is a coin that I should cash out more of my winnings in order to mitigate the risk because I really don't want to put a stop loss here. Because even if it breaks down here, I don't think it's going that much lower before it starts to go back up again. And I don't know that I'll be watching it. So this is one where I'm going to just, for now, set in alerts. Let me actually go down to a lower term time frame and see. Okay, if it goes down here, I definitely want to know. And if it goes up here, I definitely want to know. And then I want you to tell me again if it gets all the way up there. And I want you to tell me again if it actually gets on the other side of this line. Okay, so there is Link. I like my price levels. Looks bullish AF. It looks like it's going to keep going up, but no telling. Here's one of my potential sell levels. So probably what I'll do if it did start coming back down here and it looks like it wasn't just a wick, right? Because it could keep coming back down here and not really stay, right? I care more about the candle bodies than the candle wicks, but I probably would sell some out for profit at 34 or maybe a little bit higher depending on what the chart looks like. And it might be as much as half of my position and get back, I don't know, what, like $300 or yeah, get back like $300 worth of Link, right? Or $300 worth of dollars. And that's Link. So I think the next one is probably either Ethereum or Uniswap. I don't really care which one of those it is. I'm just going to go to Ethereum first. See what's looking like. Ooh, this one looks bullish AF2. I guess right? That's the thing is I'm not going to be mad that I did not sell out in a week or two because these charts are still going up. Um, However, I could have cashed out at 3K here. I would have like 3K in my account now, and actually probably be like 32 because I would have got some buys in down here, and I would actually still be in cash. Like I would still have 50 to 30% cash as opposed to like 3% where I'm at right now, and I would have made money off of buying this because I definitely would have got in some of this action for sure. You see where my lines are, the potential places I might buy, and that's a 20% move, right? So if I would have put in, took some out and then put $500 back into Ethereum, it would be $700 right now, or I'm sorry, it would be $600 right now, which that's great, free money. All I had to do is make a decision and pay attention a little bit. So these levels, I mean, this should just be a zone, so I'm going to make it a zone. It may not come back down here again, but this is like my buy zone. Like if Ethereum comes back down here, I might have to add more cash to this account because I don't have any more cash to be buying these things with like $100 on a $3,000 account. That's not gonna move that much. So I like that. And I like that. So I'm gonna get an alert on my phone and in my browser, right, when it crosses those levels, right, so that I can make decisions if need be, right? Because I could also take profit on Ethereum. Like if we want to look at my last buys, yeah, they're all. I mean, some of these are all the way down at 17. Did I sell all the way out of Ethereum here? No, it doesn't look like it. And then I also have buys because I bought Ethereum with Bitcoin. But right now this is up like 15% for me, just off of these positions, right? Um, and I could have sold a little bit higher and then bought back lower than my price than the last prices I bought at 12 days ago, like all the way back here or something. Probably like here, right? And broke up. Should have sold some. Could have caught this knife. Would have been right. I wouldn't have put as much back into it as I took out if I got all the way into cash, right? But easy level, psychological $2,000, right? Then it created closes right here and then came and revisited it 3 times for you. I mean, like easy buys here. Yeah, I could have had another buy here where it broke above this line, like, oh, it's probably going to keep going. Yeah, it came back down and tested this area, but then it's blasting off some more. Now might be a good time to sell, but this thing is getting back to the top way too quickly, and it looks like it might just decide to continue running today. I don't freaking know. But again, I could have sold higher and then rebought. I would have a higher account value and I would have more cash. More of it would be in cash, which is like safer. I can go to sleep without worrying about these positions. Obviously, I go to sleep without worrying about these positions anyway because this is terrible management of my buys and sells. Um, if this account had another zero on it, then I'd definitely take more time with it, but we ain't there yet. I'm trying to get it to have another zero on it. I want to trade it up instead of just putting money in, but both of them look like good decisions right now. So with Uniswap, I bought it down here at like 30 and 31, and it went all the way up to close to 40 and didn't get a sell. Got easy buy levels in here that I would have just snatched right up. Let's go look at this chart. Save this one. Golly. So much opportunity right now. Maybe I just need to put more money into this account or maybe into a different account. And come on, chart. What's going on right now? Okay, put more money into a different account or in this account and spend more time on this because the opportunity is just like these things move such large percentages. I mean, this is a 12-hour candle for 15%, and it's not even right. I could leverage trade this and get a even better return. So that might have to start happening soon. But I mean, I like all my levels. They've slightly shifted, maybe where some of these would be, but um, seems like they held. I would have, if I'd been paying attention to this, I would have done well on this. I probably would have missed. I wouldn't have really got a buy-in on this candle. I don't think, um, because it didn't come all the way down to my levels, and I don't do as well when a move gets front ran. But also, if I would have been watching it and saw the order book basically signs of reversal in the order book where like, oh no, the buyers came in hard, then maybe I would have then done that. And it's interesting that this level of accumulation here again happened at my same level here. So this is clearly, I would like to see the volume profile on this one, but uh, decent little trade here. From this period, should have been a better trade up to here, and then a new trade here, but I'll take it, and like where my levels are. I mean, I could add a level up here, but I'm just gonna keep this chart as is. I think it's gorgeous. Right? Maybe I'll do this now if I really wanted to. Maybe I would do this now if I really wanted to, but not. We ain't saving that. Let's go to the next chart. Uni looking spectacular. ADA. Let's look at ADA next because I think that one is next. Where is it at? Like all the way down here? Yeah. Why didn't I just put those in alphabetical order? Okay, so can't see much on this chart because there's so little history. Let's just, whatever, keep it where it is and come and look at this chart. Man, this chart looks so bad. Over long-term time frames. Jeez. Okay, let me look at an even higher term time frame because that's ugly looking to me. But that's a very interesting consolidation that I'll look at in a second. Over the long term, this is pretty, I mean, this is a bullish looking chart. It looks like it's going to keep going up. It looks like it's definitely going to come up and test this level. What's that trade? What's that trade right now? Ooh, 70% move incoming on Cardano, if you ask me. But um, you shouldn't like follow my trading advice or anything like that. You have to understand when to know that that idea is wrong and be able to get out for a minimal loss, right? And if you were to buy right now, I mean, my place for a stop loss would probably be this line, which is not a good stop loss because it could just come down here and hold this 21 exponential moving average or some other moving averages that are in there. And so this is part of why I trade in kind of the lazy way that I do, tending to look at the 12-hour charts and like, okay, if Bitcoin wants to go down 15% today, whatever. But, it's an amount of money that it hurts enough that I look at it, but it's not an amount of money that um, like changes anything in what I need to do in my day-to-day life, right? So um, this is a very interesting rollover here. And let me look at this on a 4-hour rollover. But then this looks good. I do not like the way this like has this curvature here, but um, and it is actually still a lower low, well, but it's a higher low after this one on the 4-hour. I'm sorry, higher high. Um, because it is also a higher low is what I'm looking at now. So I don't really like the way this chart looks right now. It's kind of funky looking. Maybe if it, let's see what these rainbow MAs are doing. I had a fairly recent golden cross, right? Do I have my colors right? Yeah, blue and orange. Yeah. I mean, it had a golden cross right here, and it's played some of that, but I would expect this to do be more powerful than that, for sure. For sure. Because the last time, I mean, this is just one example, right? You back test the stuff and blah, blah, blah. And here's an example that I'm going to point out that is not as good as the one I'm about to show right now. But last time that, doop, 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 doop. Last time that these crossed over each other, the blue one is a shorter term time frame moving average. The orange one is a longer term time frame moving average. So this is the average of the last 50 candles closes, I believe, and this is the average of the last 20 candle closes. So the last time that this is a golden cross or whatever, the last time it did that, you basically could have played it for a 300% move, meaning it 4x'd. Nice. And if you just played it from, if you only traded based on these moving averages, right? And so you ended up holding all the way till they crossed back down here, then you still made 3x, right? You still made 200%. Maybe it would be smarter to get out as soon as this blue short-term moving averages starts to turn down. So if you made all the way up here, it's at 25, but it did also turn down here. right? So there's plenty of places for you to get out. I mean, you could even just played it to the next point of resistance, right? And that would have been 30% move, then gotten out sometime in this consolidation when it's doing weird stuff. Right? Oh, I see. This consolidation looks a lot like the one that we're looking at right now. Hmm, I see. Cardano just is ugly. I have to learn like the way that this chart behaves, like how it looks, right? Um, things trade kind of like in different patterns based on the psychology of everybody who's in that specific market. And the stage, the technology, all of those different things matter. But I'm just not used to how this chart looks, and this looks hard to trade. This chart looks horrible. It looks good over the long term, right? It looks really bullish over the long term. So we just had this cross here. And right, I showed you one where it didn't play out as well. I didn't go through it, but you could see that back here when these crossed, it was really just a fake out. It didn't give you much of any move, and it actually went down after that, right? They quickly crossed back down to the downside, which is they call it a golden cross when it's bullish and a death cross when it's bearish. And so it immediately faked out and went to a death cross, and maybe that will happen here as well, right? Because you see the blue moving average is, well, no, it's not turned down. It's a purple one, right? Yeah, so I mean, it's still turning up. It takes a while to see these. These are all 4-hour candles, and 6 of them in a day, and this is at least like 120. So, um, Cardano not as easy to read as the other ones. It looks like it's going for more though. Like I definitely expect it to come up here and go way beyond that. Um, but it doesn't look as immediately promising as like the link chart, for example, or even Uniswap. Uniswap seems like it does like it consolidates a little bit longer than maybe some of these other coins, but I haven't been watching it as long. And I think the only other coin that I care to look at, I didn't adjust any levels on Cardano, but they looked about right. And it was also impossible chart to read. So Balancer, let's go look at my friend recommended this one to me and said thank me later or something like that. So that's what first got me interested in it. Looks like I bought my last time at 66 all the way up here when I thought it was probably going for a breakout. And to be fair, it did. This was a nice percentage move, about 10% from this breakout to the top here that, right, if I would have been paying attention, I could have sold, but it ended up coming all the way down here to 47, right? And I could have bought there. And so this one looks like, based on my positions, well, they're kind of all freaking over the place, aren't they? Okay, so 53, 53. What are the sizes on these? Oh, oh, okay. So my lower buys on this one and around the 53 area are actually much larger than any of my ones up in the 60s. So my average is probably something like 55 because these positions, these are my two largest positions, and they were both in the 53 region, right? And so this thing's played out a lot where if for example, these had been sells instead of buys, this coin would have made me decent money, right? Um, as it is right now, it's made me a percentage and is maybe a little bit better off than my Bitcoin positions. But this chart looks, oh, sure. Chart looks, oh, is that a 1 hour really? No, that's got to be the 12. Okay. It definitely wasn't 1 hour. Let's definitely put in some levels on this one too, because it's kind of want a zone. I do want a zone. We'll do a zone. Not the best charting at all, but I'll take it. Let's look at a daily. That's probably what I should have done just now anyway. Zone doesn't even show up on the daily. So actually, let's just do that. Um, and I'm a 12-hour candle trader, so I'll use my 12 hours on whatever. This one I want to thicken that thing on up, and yeah, right. Maybe I could put a level like pretty much right exactly where we are right now, but nah. Um, I would, however, like to do some alertes. Boom. So last video, I think I called it easy money with altcoins or something absolutely ridiculous like that. Um, it would have been easy money if I would have sold properly. I'd be back into cash right now. You know, your gains don't mean anything until you sell, until you get back into cash, until you actually realize your gains. Then they don't mean anything, right? Because my account looks nice with this $2,800 or whatever, especially considering I don't think I invested. Well, no, I recently put 500 bucks back in. I don't think I've invested more than like 2,000 bucks originally, and I've already pulled out lots of Bitcoin and have it in a different place where I have. We don't need to talk about amounts. So decent trades. I wouldn't trade like what I did, but what I was about to say about realized gains is that, right, it feels fine with my $2,800 in my account right now, but if Bitcoin does a real correction, like this is just a buy the dip situation right here. This is called discounts. This is called thank you Bitcoin or market makers for giving me cheaper Bitcoin, right? If Bitcoin really corrects, it's going to at least come down here. And that's going to make my account look like not good. Not good. If I don't get back into cash, right? So that's why stop losses are important. And I'm going to be a little bit more diligent about it because I feel like I just threw 500 bucks away, maybe 700 bucks if I would have played it right after I sold better. But I didn't sell enough, sold 3% of my freaking account when I clearly should have sold 10 to 25% and then should have been prepared to get out more when critical levels broke, and each of the coins would have different critical levels, different bounce points, etc. That's part of why I do these over a long term and in a lackadaisical way because I got shit to do. So I can't sit here and stare at these coins all day until my account is big enough that I'm able to make that the main gig. And probably like I don't know. I could kind of do that now. I could do that now, but it does not. I should spend my time in my business getting more cash to be able to throw into this instead of using this right now because growing by percentage is way more powerful than growing like income from a business or whatever or income from your job. But it matters a lot how much capital you have, and the less capital you have to trade with, the more aggressive, the more you need to win, right? Like the banks trading their $100 million will take 0.5%, right? They just banked. They just made $500,000, right? And it's very easy to catch yourself a 0.5% move, right? You got a whole bunch of money, you can do stuff like that. If not, right, then you get glued. You like have to stay glued to the charts, and you have problems with like feeling like you need to be in a position all the time and things like that. When I'd rather be in cash, I'd rather get in and get out appropriately, and that's actually why I moved some of my Bitcoin out to do that better with this account, but just not able to pull it off yet because I got other stuff to do. And like if this decides to go to $100,000 tomorrow, and it like doubles my account, well, then I might pay a little. I'll pay a little bit more attention, but still, it's got to go up a bit more than that for me to try to make trading my job, which sounds fun. I mean, I'm probably gonna have a family office, like a hedge fund eventually, but for now, still just learning the ropes, making shitty videos that you should not try to follow my advice whatsoever. Um, and that's it for this one. Not financial advice. I'm a freaking moron when it comes to this stuff. So don't do what I do, but maybe you can learn some of the lessons from my mistakes, basically. Um, yeah, and I guess that's it.